Finishing up a great day out on the water and about to park it for the night. Kind of like this crew right here, but something I've learned about boaters over the last couple years, for some reason we feel like we can park it anywhere. Welcome back guys to this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week, and we're going to go ahead and talk about that one for a few moments today. Parking it anywhere is a unique concept, but for whatever reason, the amount of video clips I get sent in a week that look like this are just crazy, which is starting to give me the impression that many of us as boaters think we can just park it wherever we want, and that starts well before we get on the water. That's right, most of these clips I get are on dry land, where people decide, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it here for the night. And this can come from many different reasons. Maybe they decided they weren't gonna use those rear tie downs today.
This one into Broncos Guru, traveling 75 miles an hour down the freeway, rolling trailer, no straps.
Or maybe we just decided waterfront parking was better than the rest, and sometimes we don't even pick, and somebody else decides they're gonna park it anywhere for us.
No, stop. This is our boat. I'm talking to the cop.
Now, parking it on dry land anywhere for us boaters is one thing, but that's just the start. Even out on the water, we're gonna go ahead and continue that parking superiority and go anywhere. Now, of course, parking it anywhere in the water is not always going to end in our favor, and sometimes there's going to be ramifications to the actions we take. But don't worry about that. If you want that prime beach parking spot, sometimes you're just going to have to send it anyway.
All right, Broncos Guru and Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. That is what you call hard beach.
The old hard beach parking, one of the oldest tricks in the book. We all know beachfront property is expensive, but what better way to lay your claim on your own beachfront property than to go ahead and do a park it anywhere and claim it with your boat?
Oh, you know what happened?
What?
The moorings not very obvious.
I think you're right. Broncos Guru, main edition.
And if you do decide to do that hard beach parking, just keep in mind that it's not always going to be easy to get your vessel back. Sometimes it's going to be a real struggle. And if you do decide to do this and you trim the motor up, why don't you make sure you turn the motor off? Leaving it on is a great way to burn it out. In all seriousness though, trying to park your vessel, especially at a sandbar amongst other boats, can be a tedious task, as can be seen right here. This video comes from my good friend Wavy Boats, and this is over at Haulover Sandbar. And as we can see, this captain right here is trying to anchor his boat to start enjoying themselves at the sandbar, but instead they've let it go a little too far and they've actually drifted over the anchor line on the vessel that was parked next to them. Things you gotta remember down at the sandbar, guys, is things can happen fast. There are currents, wind, wake, everything's going to affect what you're doing down there. And one of the biggest things you have to remember that's going to affect you is you've got to keep your calm. If you start getting frustrated, getting agitated, or getting angry, things are going to go wrong fast, and it's not going to help anybody. This video really hits home for me because just a few weeks ago, I was in this exact situation. We were at our local sandbar, we dropped our bow anchor, I jumped off the rear of the boat with our stern anchor, and unfortunately, the current was pulling so strong that by the time I was ready to try and set the anchor, our vessel had already drifted over the anchor line on the boat next to us. Now, of course, at this point, I could have let anger and agitation get to me, kind of like we're seeing our captain do here, but fortunately for me, I kept my calm and actually was very kind and courteous with the boater next to us, and in turn, that boater actually helped us get our boat reset up and pull back over their anchor line. What really goes wrong when you start letting anger set in is you're gonna miss some important things. Your mind's gonna be so solely focused on the task you're doing when you let anger set in that you're gonna basically have blinders on and you can miss some more important and dangerous things out on the water, kind of like this captain did here. His wife was actually yelling at him because somebody had been caught in a current behind him and was actually in a drowning situation, but he was so focused on this whole anchor situation because he was so angry about it that he couldn't understand what his wife was saying. Fortunately, our much calmer, cooler captain who was trying to assist realized the priority of the situation had changed, and my man being over his anchor line was no longer the priority, and trying to rescue this girl was. Fortunately, our calmer, cooler captain was able to jump in and assist in the situation and may just have saved this girl's life. So that's just a reminder to you guys, no matter how frustrating things get out on the water, always try and stay calm and cool because you never know what's going to happen out on the water. I'll go ahead and put a link up top here to the full video for you guys to go check out over on Wavy Boats channel if you'd like. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and let me know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Calumet IS, Drew Purvis, Wavy Boats, I Don't Play, Jonah K1, Jordan Tobins 2, 9x3 OG, Adrian Wingrove 4, Nick Uhazy, Picasso West, Salty Manatee 5, Timo Foster and Valerie Avanelli did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.